Happy Saturday, Instagram. It's Anthony C here, aka Super Bell, known to YouTube fans. And this is going to be a long, long video. It's going to be a long stream because, as you've seen in pictures and stories, that my layout has changed systematically over to like big improvement. A lot of things over the last couple weeks. I spent lots of money, sometimes entire paychecks, just to bring me back to that old nostalgic era when I loved Thomas more than now. Even though my obsession with Thomas has probably skyrocketed since then. But anyhow, I'm gonna show you guys all my stuff. Hey Owen, what's going on, bro? I'm gonna show you guys everything I got, not in any specific chronological order, just as I show the layout off. And I also changed things in the room a little bit too. So here we go. Let's get started. Here's the layout. Oh boy. It's impressive how many things have changed. I've got plenty of engines and rolling stock, new destinations, upcoming destinations you'll see in a second, and monsters. So let's start with monsters because that's quicker. I got the new Bela Lugosi Dracula from Mago. Here's the thing it came in. I didn't keep the Dracula one, but yeah. The reason I kept it is because he's sitting in a coffin. And the cape is like really nice cloth accessory, nice material, nice polyester. And he's with Kong, Jason Myers, which is Jason and Michael. The Gillman, still holding the Jack-o'-lantern, and Frankenstein monster. Over here, it's the same. I just moved the Kong box a little bit to the left and took Spider-Man off the base. He's very hard to get off. It's very hard to get his wrist off of that gargoyle, whatever that thing is, that bird. There's Godzilla, there's Count Orlok, the Beast still up there. I mentioned in another video that I taped both Kong's arms back to the bubbly tomb that they were in, because I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do now. I can't pose them anymore. But anyhow, yeah, those are the monsters. Let's move on to trains. First up, we'll do Ertles. I got Wilburn 16, not from the same seller. They're in pretty good condition. I got Wilburn 16 the same day. Wilburn came from the same seller as I get all my my capsule play rail engines, which I'm also going to show you guys. 16 was his eyebrows were a little bit off, so I markered them. They look good. Speaking of play rail, actually, we'll do that first. I got a bunch of capsule play rails from the seller's name. I think is under the box. No, it was on the top. So it's gone. So anyhow, this is my capsule play rail collection. As you saw in another video, I got the Christmas push along James that doesn't have a motor. The Dirty Objects Cross James, who does have a motor, who could pull. Toby, I ended up taking the 7 off because it was already coming off anyways, even though I tried so hard to get it back on. Who else did I have? I had another engine from that. Well, here's my very first one, all from the same seller, all from different purchases. The Shooting Star Gordon, which was my very first. I got these 3, and then I got Henrietta with her face. So now I could recreate Time for Trouble, my favorite season 3 episode. So those I've already shown you guys. Now here's what's new, and look at that. This was my first haul of Ertles that I went crazy with. Might as well show you the one that comes in 3s, and that is the Flying Scotsman. Yep, the Flying Scotsman. They made them for capsule play rail, all made in Japan, all from Japan. Although the seller bought them from Japan, but the seller is American. But yeah, I'm definitely going to use the tenders, and even Gordon's tender, and maybe Henrietta and Toad we'll get to in a second, all as rolling stock. But yeah, Toad is next. No Oliver, unfortunately. I've got the Sparkly James, who has a motor. Sparkly Butch, who does not move. Birdie. The road vehicles don't have motors. Bill Without Ben, his motor sometimes works. Sometimes it's stuck. Whatever. Kevin, who you're probably wondering why get Kevin. Well, he came in a 3-pack with, I want to say, he came with Stafford, who, and there was one more character the reason I got, came in a 3-pack with, I remember, came in a 3-pack with Cranky, who's highly detailed, and I see Owen is left. I guess he doesn't like Thomas, at least anymore. But yeah, Cranky came in a 3-pack with Stafford and Kevin. The rest all came individually, but they all came together because I bought them all at once. I got Sir Topham Hatt's car. Again, does not move manually. This one I was kind of not sure if I wanted, but Mavis, she's got 2 funnels or something, I don't know. She's got a wind-up motor. Thomas, who's missing his eyebrows, he came in a 3-pack with his 2 faithful coaches, Annie and Clarabelle. Wow, they roll pretty good. These things are great. And Clarabelle's double-sided. Get Annie with the copyright, 2018 Ghislaine. I'm surprised they still use the Ghislaine name, even though it's made by Mattel now. Well, I don't think. Maybe Capsule. Maybe in Japan it's not made by Mattel. Here's Bulstrode, who has big wheels. I wonder if he pulls back. Nope, he doesn't, and he's got the terrified face again. He's missing an antenna, but yeah. Here's Diesel, Angry Diesel. Well, I don't know if it's... I think this is the regular Diesel, because he never has a happy face, except now, with that one. He doesn't have a motor, which is already, I guess, and it looks like he's got pink, like, he's wearing, like, a pink supervillain mask. Maybe he's just pissed off, I don't know. He's red. I could probably recreate James, that episode where James pushes him in the snow. Salty. And lastly... Actually, not lastly, Diesel 10, who has Pinchy. And he goes, well, he can only go up and down. He can't rotate, unfortunately. The only Diesel 10 that got it right was Brio Diesel 10, which I don't have. I never owned any Brio engines from Thomas. I think I've seen them in the store. I know Thomas Wooden Railway never did. Speaking of Brio, I actually did get a Brio rolling stock, but it wasn't Thomas. But, yeah. Oh, and like I said... That's everybody. However, I did get one animal character. An elephant. Who is much bigger than the engines. It's made by Thomas. It's obviously from the Season 4 episode, Henry and the Elephant. And he's got a little thing here to open his mouth. He actually came in the same lot as Ertl Wilbert. But yeah, that's everything from the Capsule Play Rail line that I never showed you guys. I'm gonna take a picture and post that too, because a lot of you missed that. So now I have, well, let's see. Not counting the Flying Scotsman's tenders, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wait. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I got 24 Capsule Play rails. But if you count the tenders, 26. So there you go. There's the alphabet. Oh, and also Diesel 10's got an angry, scowly face like he's supposed to. And he's got a motor. He's very slow, though, so if you want to recreate TATMR, the other two, Thomas and, well, I don't have Lady, will have to go very slowly. But yeah, for now I'll throw them back in the box, but later I'll make a thing. My mother keeps on putting it on the windowsill, the box, but I don't want the sun to, like, fade the color of them, you know? And by the way, this big box, the last thing I'm going to show you, did not come from Target. The seller used a Target box. Because when I went to the post office today, because he will not believe the day I had yesterday. All day, I went downstairs 6 times waiting for this fucking mailman to come, who eventually called out. And then 2 other things, which did come, but not this. Because I got a mislip on Thursday and tried doing rescheduling a redelivery by scanning the barcode, which did go through, but it ultimately didn't come. So I ended up going to the post office. I had to hurry because 12 o'clock is when the trucks come out, and then 1 o'clock it closes, so I would have had to wait till Monday because my mother, works Saturday, so I had no choice but to do it today. But anyhow, where do I start next? Before I get to them, I'll just show you what's new up here on the Spider Mountain Railway, which really isn't a railway anymore. I moved everything. I moved all the houses, all the scary stuff up here. The Frankenstein monsters in the back, the clam, both dead beetles. I took him off the tunnel. I actually got rid of every track masterpiece except that, like tracks. I taped the skull onto Percy, and I moved the victim of Michael Myers. And the hay is back off the tunnel. Kong is there. So yeah, this could be like two things. It could be like a spot for Bella, my cat, to sit. I keep on trying to get her to come up here, but I guess she needs to jump from there to here. But cats can jump high. But anyhow, or the engines could just run freely on it, considering that it's a very small spot to do a layout anyways. But anyway, let's get to Woodens now. Not every track piece was used. I actually, originally, before some bridges came, I ended up stacking some pieces to make a support beam. Also, there's the Chinese containers, which are the perfect height for the pillars. I do have some track in here. I moved Knapford Station here. I got plenty of ascending track now, a lot. I kept the figure eight thing. I just got rid of the tracks itself. I kept everything Knapford. I have a few bonus engines. The wood Knapford Station is now unscrewed and can now. I got lots of pamphlets in the bag. But anyhow, also all like animals, people, trees, and even Dalek are all in here. And in this one there's like characters like Donkey Kong, King Kong, Ringo, Paul, Merida, a couple elephants, some bees. That's like characters, and that's like just background stuff like I said, trees. There's the Danger Cart from Aqua Teen. There's my orangutan, who's kind of shedding. And also, the last thing before I get to the layout itself. Oh, by the way, the two Woodens are here now. Only going to be used up here, the Haunted Caboose and the Judith Myers Hopper. And it is one thing I got that I wasn't planning on getting. I was having a hard time looking for, because it's very hard now to find classic wooden train tracks, and like not specifically Thomas. I mean, wood is even harder to find now by just going to Barnes and Noble, and I don't like those tracks. I ended up throwing all the tracks away from wood. So that's one thing I don't like about wood, plus the unfinished models. But repainting them is an improvement, but not enough about that. But anyhow, so I came across this set, as you saw in the pictures I posted, that they came in this container by B Toys, Wooden Wheels. What does? What are you talking about? Ryan's telling me something. They just get wet. Anyhow, I kept passing this set every time I would go to Target. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I like the waterfall bridge part, which is the lid of the box. I'm like, I don't know. But then I said to myself, you know what? Wood tracks ain't working out, and I don't have that many for all these destinations. Because in order to connect destinations, you need regular track too to, stretch it out. Otherwise, everything's going to be all together in like one big city of destinations. And it's going to be impossible to get your arm through like long trains. But anyhow, ended up getting this for $30. It's awesome. It comes with 47 pieces. It has buildings and blocks and people, just, stick figures, I guess. One thing I don't like, though, and here's an example, is they're not double-sided, and here's why. My guess is if they ever wanted to do, like, road vehicles, but the engines are going to just, like, swivel back and forth on the bad track, so that's a bad thing, but whatever. I mean, it's the only way I'm going to get tracks in stores now at this day and age, because wood tracks, which is also kind of hard to find in stores, at least where I live, is tricky. And some parts of the layout I had to just connect. Like I didn't have the male adapter. But yeah, I use this bin now for like Trackmaster, Push Along. I got the big loader characters in here. I have the Hot Wheels. I also have some Tomy characters that I think I already showed you guys. I actually, as much as I don't like adventures, one character that I do remember having is Theo, who was only seen in one episode. I think it was Soda Legends of the Lost Treasure. Brendan, correct me on that. But Theo, and ironically, I only had I only had two adventure characters. One was Theo, and the other was Trevor, the traction engine. I guess I was just attracted by the wheels. Like, he's kind of cool. So I was actually thinking of getting Trevor on eBay. But I'm like, nah, I'll just use Theo. Because he is kind of like Trevor. And he doesn't fit on track, so he's going to have to be a road vehicle. And that's another thing. I did not go out of my way to get road vehicles. Because honestly, even though sooner or later I probably will have every single wooden in my life again, as from my golden days, during the days of trains that made impacts on me, I'm not gonna get road vehicles because they're useless. They don't go on rails unless I want to do the double-sided track for them. But yeah, road vehicles are kind of meh. I mean, I do have Wood Birdie and Wood Harold, which is good enough. I have Cranky and, well, you'll see who else came. I could also use the Wood Birdie as Lorry because he's got that space between his two cabs, which is good. But yeah, I showed you Harvey with the blue troublesome truck. I showed you guys, well, you've seen this already. This is the Rusty rescue cars. Tomy Toad came in a huge box, which was unnecessary. The troublesome brake fan, which I'm going to use in a fall throwback episode from an old YouTuber that dropped off the face of the earth. And there's a bag in here too and the bag of minis. I got I've got two Ziploc bags in here. I've got one of the bonus like retro like modified characters, and then there's the classic ones. I separated them. The problem though is with extending the layout, that's gonna have to stay on the couch now, the Railway Rumble, which I will eventually do a second one of. And to close out this part of the review, I do have a second take-along engine. I got Daisy. Thomas Wooden Railway said it best. They made a Tomy Boko, but not Tomy Daisy, but they made a take-along Daisy and not take-along Boko. She's a little bit high off the ground, but I can't really complain because, it's Daisy. And she doesn't get that much merchandise, so just take it for what it's worth. So now I have 4 take-alongs. I have Rusty, Daisy, and Rusty's cars. And also the monster truck school bus is in here. So after 18 minutes, let's get down to the layout. And then finally unboxing. Ryan, come on back. It's urgent that you come back. But anyhow, the centerpiece is Knapford Station, Tidmouth Sheds or Roundhouse, whatever. I didn't end up getting the turntable because technically, even though there's 2 ways to connect the Roundhouse to your layout using the 5-way track, and there's also the turntable, you could actually do both because in the TV series they do both. There is that 5-way, or technically 6, because they never made a 6-space shed, and as of the making of this video, that's still the case with wood. The wood sheds, actually, believe it or not, I was tempted to get the wood version of the sheds, but I'm like, nah, I want the classic one. This came through UPS. This also took a long time to come. It came late in the day, but I was home, even though I think UPS can come upstairs. I think they can leave packages. But anyhow, I've got, the 5 main the main characters of the show, minus Edward. And I also, the wood, that little station that came in that wood figure 8 set that came with Thomas, and the crossings, I took this off like the bench part, like the station, and I just use it as Toby's shed. So now Toby's got a spot in the shed. Whatever. I mean, it also connects to the back of the sheds. Over there's Daisy, Boko, and Diesel 10. Colin, who's new to the layout. There's the jet engine, who actually came with a free battery. That goes for the battery powered Express Percy and James. Thomas was new in the box, so I had to add a battery. And he actually runs I wouldn't say he runs the fastest, but he runs the smoothest. Well, naturally, even after 21 years, mint mint packages in the box prove that they can age well. But anyhow, let's go. Let's get going. What else came? I got the stop and go station, which came with this conductor, which is perfect, because I'm gonna recreate that Thomas homemade movie by that guy from 2007 and his son. Colin, I mentioned this. The waterfall bridge is awesome. And also that the B set also came with that this blue thing bridge. There's the Arch Viaduct, which is clickety clack check. There's the Suttery Swing Bridge, which is I think it's the last like new destination I bought. It's beautiful though, even though it's a little stiff now. Still got all the Brio engines. I got. There's the generic red engine that came with that box. There's me with the Imaginarium. Probably my favorite Imaginarium diesel. I call him Chief. He's actually in Hiawatha colors, which is strange. And like the Millicent Doug made up character of me, he faces backwards. Here's his coaches, which apparently I'm not the only one, but I'm going to use these two as any inclarable for now, which apparently I'm not the only one. Other people, I think there's another YouTuber that used that did that trick. There's Old Slow Coach. Those two generic cars back there came with the red engine, came with the B set. There's Hank, the American engine. Him and Colin are the only season 12 characters I had. Well, that is the only. Those are the only season 12 characters, with the exception of Flora, who I never owned. There's Mighty Mac. I did a little bit of work on him because he had some paint chips. Murdoch. I used to like Murdoch more than Spencer, but now it's kind of the opposite. But eventually I might get Spencer. There is one more purchase that's on its way, which I'm not going to spoil, but it's small. Bottom line, I'm done with Destinations because I can't extend it anymore because it's literally towards the end of the table. Now I'm glad I never got a Thomas table. Last night's arrivals was Neville, who was very damaged, so thank God he was black. I was able to color him out using a Sharpie. There's Ferdinand. That's right. Who's in a lot better condition, but he's still got some here and there. I have no problem buying black messed up engines because I could just color them out. Like I could even, not that I'm going to, but I could actually just color out diesel and get the snowflakes off and the wheels, but I don't want to do that. And he's even got it on his face, so you can still tell it's him. And it's Happy Face diesel. Like I said, the reason I bought that diesel was because this tower, which I got for my job, did not come with diesel. It did originally, but then someone stole it. Some little shithead stole it. Rolling stock wise, that cargo car came with Colin. There's the two Apple Orchard cars with the forklift, which came with Coldy over here, new style Coldy. I used them. I used to use that forklift as a Fergus-like character called Willie the Forklift, and apparently, according to the box, which is over here, because I did save some of them, the the Apple cargo is actually apple scented. When I first opened it, it did smell like apple a little tiny bit, but let's try now. I don't know. Apple doesn't really have a scent to it unless it's green apple. There's the two tankers that came with the battery-powered Thomas and Percy. That also came yesterday. That's the gold sifting car. There's the Brio Bell car, which I mentioned. And those are two... those originally came from that circle set, the farm animal Melissa and Doug set, just for the extra curves. But I took them off because I unscrewed the cargo pieces off and threw them away because it's basically a poor man's version of the circus train. So now they're just like generic flatbeds. I don't know if I could fit an engine on because the wheels might overlap with the real wheels, like the wheels of the engine it's carrying. The Soda Rare Repair BDK now has its cargo. It has its troublesome truck back because now that I got plenty more. The signals. It sucks though that these signals are bolted on. Otherwise, I could put them in here because that's kind of what they're used for. Same thing with over here. I had to Use a little gap, but the engine could still squeeze past it. Another reason I'm not getting the turntable is because I already have a turntable, and I actually found a way to do this. And it works fine. Look. There. Let me show you guys the jet engine. He's still pretty fast. He did not come with the Thomas, the surprise face Thomas, which would have been nice. But, oh well. Because if I want to recreate Thomas in the jet engine, I'm going to have to do it manually because, well, even still, it can't go up hills. Even the new style one, I remember, couldn't. But that battery-powered engine is heavy, so it's gonna move at normal speed. Even if you have Thomas help pull it, it's gonna look like it's under Thomas's control. It's gonna look like when he, at the end of the episode, when it ran out of juice, fuel. Ironically, it's right above the jet engine. So I'm gonna have to do that manually. Oh, also, I'm surprised that the Dynamite car that came with Scruffy over here connects to Cranky. Let's just hope that, well, you'll see. The silly putty trick didn't end up working. This ended up knocking over the pinwheel, wind up, whatever. Didn't end up working. And yeah, I'm using that as Birdie's shed. Sorry, I'm tired. I got up really early because I've been going out late, which isn't good. Well, I had to get to the post office as quickly as possible to get that. Now, finally, to close out the layout, even though the sawmill and log cars did not fit underneath the viaduct, I ended up making like a dock siding with using the TATMR board game as pillars to hold up the tracks. There's Bamba with Bulstrode on the dock and some whales. And also I got the old style breakdown train in Rocky. So yeah, there you go. That's the ocean. Well, the middle part is the ocean. The rest is land. So it's more like a lake rather than... So you're probably wondering, how does Bulstrode get out? Goes under the bridge. But there's no water over there. Well, he sprouts wheels. Whatever. You gotta improvise. You gotta roll with... you gotta just take things for granted and accept and face value. But yeah... Well, I'm not even halfway done. I'm not even 30 minutes in, and I'm already done with the layout. But here's proof that the Suttery swing bridge is kind of stiff. It works still. It's just, I mean, it was new in the box. It's got to work. Well, it's manual. Of course, it's gonna work. It's not like it's battery powered, where it's. But yeah, and I have Harold over the water here, and believe it or not. Originally, I did like the roundhouse set layout where it raised. When engines would go, like it was 2 levels. When the engines would slide down, they would actually, when they would go down, they wouldn't turn. They would actually fall off the waterfall. So that's good for crashes, except you don't want to screw up your engines unless you got a cushion to stop the engine. Or you put your hand underneath and catch it. Anyhow, actually, oh wait, there is one more thing I never showed you guys. And this is something I definitely never had in my childhood. The suspension bridge that came with the bridge and tunnel set from 2000. I thought it was earlier than that. I always wanted this bridge, but I think when I discovered this bridge, it must have been after 2000, and I guess it was too late, because in the Thomas world, at least back then, if an item, whether or not it was an engine, rolling stock, bridges, destinations, whatnot, and whatever, did not sell, they would retire, and that's it. And then you would never see them again in stores. This, I'm very glad, wasn't that expensive. I got it for $71. It was complete. It came with all 4 pillars, which I'm surprised actually come off. But it did not come with ascending tracks, and neither did the mint version. So every version of this did not come with ascending track. I guess because, like in the bridge and tunnel set, it was already connecting to a bridge. But anyhow, when I got this, I was a little bit nervous because, well, first of all, it was peeling a little bit, but then I taped it. It's beautiful, though. I love that brick, design that the old clickety-clack bridges had, like the Archstone Bridge. But when I first put this together, I was a little nervous because I actually did this backwards, and the pillar was too short, like it wouldn't reach the end. I'm like, oh, shit. But then it was like, oh, I'm doing it backwards. I'm like, oh, okay, good. Because I looked at the picture. I'm like, oh, no. Don't tell me that I got a factory error. I'm like, no. Oh, it's good. It was backwards. Also, the layout from the docks goes under the viaduct through here. There's a switch where the two Tomy engines are, and they fall and die, and that's how they wind up in the Spider Mountain Railway. How do they get back? I guess they just fall again, like in Foster's. They just keep going down, and then they go up. But we went down! Also, show you the back, too. It all connects. Toby's part just goes up to the ramp right there where Merida and Cranky reside. Alright, so the last thing to just show you guys before I open is a Tomy engine that also came to mind when it came to old stuff I had. It's Tomy Henry, who did not come with a battery. And like Trains Are Cool predicted, even though I knew it already, every new battery you put in the tender engines of Tomy, at least Henry, they always go slow. But I'm still keeping it anyways. I'm not going to try like last time to get in the wires and get all the dirt out, because then it ended up stop working, and then I ended up throwing it away. But it looks like the seller actually fixed fixed the wires before selling it, unless that's how it was in the stores. But I don't remember the tape being black or whatever. All right, let's just stop beating around the bush and open that. But bottom line, before I forget something, because I usually do forget something. Here's new. Yeah, here's what's new that came: the Dracula, these two Ertles, all the capsule play rails except James, Henrietta, and Toby and Gordon, the Imaginarium coaches, Old Slow Coach, the B cars which came with that set, the generic B engine, Chief from the 3-pack with these, Tomy Henry, Hank, Mighty Mac, Murdoch, Coldy, who came with the Apple Orchard cars, the jet engine, Colin, the suspension bridge, Neville, Ferdinand, the cargo car came with Colin, the two tankers I already showed you guys, the gold sifting car, the Brio Bell car, the Suttery swing bridge, the stop and go station, the conductor, the two cranes over there, breakdown cranes, and yeah. And then it just comes down to this. Now I'm gonna put the phone down. I think my phone is full. I can't scroll down to see, because then the video is gonna go out of sync, and I don't want that to happen. So, where's my trusty box cutter? I wanted to wait till everything came to make a nice long video, and I'll probably put this on YouTube. Who's back? Ryan's back. You missed a whole bunch of shit, bro. But here we go. You made it in time for the unboxing. This is by a seller called Robert Kronk from Baraboo, Wisconsin. And it's a bunch of things. It's not just one. It is a bunch. And this made me draw the line and stop ordering destinations. So, here we go. It is a bunch of things. Here's one. It's a new style curve track, small curve. Here is Ertl Lord Harry, who I already have, but he came in a pack. So I'll get my marker in a second, color him out. Here's the second curve track. Oh, here's who I was looking forward to and I thought would be impossible to find. Ertl Bluebell, which is Thomas, which is the original Thomas. Well, sort of. He's faceless, and for a while he was only sold in the UK, and he's actually in pretty good condition. Pretty good for a rare engine. Bluebell, baby. I'm surprised they got away with the, well, they already did they did with the City of Troy, but I'm surprised they got away with two faceless characters who were not in the railway, who were not in the show. Well, City of Troy was. All right, next up, I want to get the engines out of the way. Here we go. Caldy, the only mountain engine I had growing up. Now I got all three. A little dusty. He's missing his eyebrows, and his sticker is coming off a little bit, but I got him. Does he have that factory error where the coupling jitters back and forth? Yep. Yeah, so I'm gonna work on him when the video's over. So now there's one more Erdl in here. I'll get to him in a second, but here's the main reason I got the whole set. I know I'm showing him off too early, but Cranky, the old style Cranky, who's off his base by the string. You just snap it back on and then now I didn't know this, but they actually made two old style Crankies. They made the gray one, which I had, and then they made a green one. And he rotates all around using this. And he's much taller than the wood Cranky, who I'm gonna compare in a sec. Yeah, baby. This is what you call Cranky. Not in the best condition, but he's pretty good. He's in pretty good condition for, I think, 1999 or 98 he came out. Yeah, baby. I mean, if he didn't, like, rock a little bit, but, whatever. He wasn't too expensive, like, by himself, but, yeah. Here's the last Erdl. Godred. So that's all 3 mountain engines. Oh, part of his chin is broken off. Whatever. I got all 3 mountain engines now, finally. And their faces on the back, so it's numbers 1, 4, and 6. I'm gonna fix them up. I already have Lord Harry, but whatever. Here's one thing I'm disappointed in. Actually, 3, but I can't really complain at this point. I shouldn't complain because here's the Archstone Bridge. Why I'm disappointed? It's not clickety clack track. Well, that's beside the point. I mean, I'm fine with either, but I prefer clickety clack. But it's the new style Archstone Bridge, and because of that, the bricks are gray instead of pink. Eventually, I will get around, even though I'm kind of retiring from getting destinations, but I will, sometime over the summer, get around to getting the pink Archstone Bridge. I mean, I still like it. It's good. I don't know. I like the pink one better. I never had the gray one either. Here's another thing I'm a little disappointed in, but I'm happy to have it. Shit. Oh, damn it. The conductor shed, which is in good condition. It's the newer track, but when you pull this thing, it doesn't go down anymore. Like, the conductor doesn't push the thing down anymore. You got to do it manually. I mean, yeah, it's an old toy, but you can't even do it halfway. Damn, this thing is fucking shot. And for whatever reason, it's called Conductor Shed 5. It's good, though. I love it. I definitely had this as a kid, but you can't put it down anymore. I'm literally being as careful as I can, but it won't go down. So you kind of just have to. So I'm probably just gonna keep this as I'm probably just gonna use this as dead end, like it stays down. Yeah, it doesn't want to go down. I don't want to break it, but it won't go down. And the last thing in this box, which is also not clickety clack track, is the Sodor engine wash, which I actually kept for a long time. It's one of the last. It's one of the last destinations I had from back then. And I got rid of it, I think, back in 2014 or 15. But here it is. The engines go through it. I had the clickety-clack version, but it technically wasn't clickety-clack. It was just clear. Like, it was like Brio tracks. But here it's the newer track. But yeah, so this is all that came today. Yeah, Cranky, the 3 mountain engines, Bluebell, and the 3 destinations. I'm happy with it. I just wish the Archstone Bridge, even though I knew buying it wouldn't be pink. Now let's compare the Crankies, and I know there's going to be a huge difference. Well, I wouldn't say huge, but there's going to be quite a difference. Let's put them up here. Yeah, there's quite a difference in size, Cranky moves on his own. This one you gotta... And you could lower the arm with this, but this you gotta up here. Can he connect? Yes, he can. Yeah, this cranky's 100 times better. Just be careful not to snap the string, otherwise you won't be able to lower cargo anymore. You could probably still rotate his head, but yeah, I'm gonna keep both for now. I mean, maybe I will get rid of this cranky. Maybe. I'm gonna take this off though. But yeah, that's really it. This concludes my, I thought would be 60-minute video. No, but 40 of everything. So yeah, leave comments, and I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll be back with another haul. Not a big haul, but like now. But it's gonna be. Screw it, I'll just spoil it because I that's what I always do. The fire train and the fire engine taken from the fire station is coming. So yeah. Hope you all enjoyed this long ass video. And yeah. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Bye everyone.